guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I am that media girl. I know a lot of ladies have heard this phrase, or rather this advice that goes this way: marry a man that loves you more than you love him. And it further goes on saying that when you hold a man's hands and he makes your heart beat faster, he makes you feel giddy and excited, walk away from this man. He is not the man for you. But if you hold his hands and it makes you feel warm, safe and secure, then hold on to that man. That's the man to marry. I'm here thinking, is this right? Is this correct? Or it's just a selfish way of thinking? Now, I've seen a couple of women who blatantly disagree to this advice. They said it is quite selfish for you to want to marry someone you don't love as much as they love you, because you're putting them in that same position for which you're scared to be in if they are not capable of giving you as much love as you're giving them. And that position is you being vulnerable, you being taken for granted, and you being heartbroken, simply because you're not getting as much level of love that they are willing to give to you. Now, in all sense of it, do I totally agree with this advice? I would say yes. You know why? Because it's more safer as a woman to marry a man who loves you more. But that doesn't mean that you don't love him, that you don't have an iota of love for this guy. It just means that the man's love in comparison to yours is much more overwhelming. That's just the difference. The truth is, oh shit. Because I tell you what, it's going to be much more demoralizing, much more heartbreaking, much more traumatizing for a woman to get married to a man who doesn't love her as much as she loves him. Man is a superior. He's the head of the house. So if the head of the house is not loving the supposed neck, it's going to be a problem, right? There's going to be friction. But it's a lot easier for a woman to get married to a man that she doesn't love as much as he loves her. And in a process of her seeing the love that he shows to her, all of the good things that he does to her, in no time, she's going to gravitate towards his love, and her love is also going to grow to measure up or even exceed that of his. That's what I think. That's the honest truth. It's far more better for that to happen than the other way around. So this is it for me. Don't marry a man that you're so deeply attracted to, so deeply in love with, more than he is with you. Because you would start to feel insecure. You would start to have the feeling of abandonment. And then you will constantly worry that he may never, ever love you as much as you want him to love you. So I would advise that marry the one that loves you much more than you love him, because as years go by, your love would grow to measure up with his or exceed his. Why? Because he will constantly show you what it means to be loved. And when a man loves a woman, he goes the extra mile to make sure that she's happy. Now let's take a paradigm shift into another dimension. Don't marry a man, any man, for these reasons. Don't go for a man who is a 10 when you're a 3. Because as you grow older, a man who is a 10 might downgrade to an 8 or a 9 in physique or looks. But a 3 is definitely going to downgrade to 1. And when that happens, he will start looking for someone who is on his level in terms of attractive looks. So marry a man who is not that attractive, or you would learn the hard way. Number 2, don't marry a man because of his fame, popularity, or status, or money, or just because your friends like him. All of that can easily turn against him because, people are fickle-minded, and money fizzles as fast as a second. Instead, marry a man who believes in hard work, who is disciplined, and who earns his way through life without the need of validation from others. If validation comes, fine, but he doesn't see that as far more important than, honesty, hard work, discipline, and being transparent in who he really is and what he really is and what he can give. He's not doing the most to impress you or to impress anyone. Number 3, don't you dare marry any man to please anyone, be it the society, your parents, your friends, or relative. Don't. Marriage is like a marathon. You're in there for a long haul. If you eventually got married to please someone, to please your parents, or to please the society at large, you're going to feel trapped if that's not the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And that can slowly lead to death. I mean, like it will feel like you choking because you're not with the right person. You're only there because you want to please, you want to get people off your back. Take your time. Take your time. Marriage is a marathon. You're going to be, if you're in, you're in. You don't want to be in for a while and leave. You want to be there for the rest of your life. So you have to make it right. All right? So do not get married just to please anyone. Your path, your timing is different, and you're going to believe God for your process and wait till you feel deep down in your soul, in your mind, in your body that this is the person that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. You feel it in your guts. Until that happens, you're not taking any step down the aisle. Okay? Now, don't get married to a man just because he's successful. Get married to a man because he's got a burning desire that no matter how much he fails, no matter how many times he falls, he will find himself, he will pick up himself time and time again and again until he wins, until he learns the way to win in life. Marry a man who is a go-getter, who never gives up in life no matter what. As a woman, I'm a go-getter, and I can't see myself getting married to a man who is a loser. I don't easily crumble. So I can't find myself getting married to a man who is not a go-getter, who is not strong when the winds of life comes tumbling down, right? So that should be it. Don't get married to a man just because he's successful. Get married to him based on how he fights back at life. Get married to him based on his ability to stand up during a tough period. So you might find a man who is not totally successful, but with encouragement, with prayer, and you being by his side, working hand in hand with him, he will find the courage of conviction to rule his world and succeed. Number 5, don't get married to a man who is bad in bed. Oh my God, don't you get married to a man who is bad in bed. You might think that sex is not important in a relationship. It is important in a relationship, in marriage. If he wouldn't go down to pleasure you just as much as you pleasure him, you will be frustrated. You will be frustrated as a woman. And your eyes will definitely stray out. You will cheat. If the plan is not for you to cheat, right? Get married to a man who is sexually compatible with you. So make sure that you and him can satisfy each other's sexual needs and kinkiness and freakiness, all right? Your freakiness has got to be on the same level. Marry your type, marry your kind, right? Because being married to a partner who is boring sexually is like being sentenced to a life imprisonment. You're going to be sad, you're going to be emotionally frustrated, you're going to be cranky as a woman. You don't want that. Trust me, you don't. So find your type, find your kind, and merge. So I end with this. In looking for a man to love, look for the one that loves you much more than you love him. In time, your love will grow to measure his or exceed his, depending on how he treats you. Because I believe that a man who loves you will treat you right, will treat you like a queen. He will never lay his hands on you. And that's the truth. But that's notwithstanding the fact that you should have some iota of love for him as well. Because the truth is, you can never make a person fall for you, but you can surely learn to love a person. That's what I believe. Because when someone already loves you, you would have an easier time being with them. Right? Because they're showing you love. You're showing you what real love is. Right? And you would have that dream marriage that you've always wanted. If it's coming from a male, if it's coming from the guy, you would have a dream marriage that you've always wanted. It's raining out there, so I need to cut this short. Thank you so much for being part of this show. If you like this video, share, comment, and what again? Subscribe, okay? And then tell me what you think. Do you think it's selfish for a woman to marry a man that loves her more than she loves him? Or should it be 50-50 from the man and the woman?